You're listening to Spainfully Honest, the podcast where me, Paul,
and me, Catherine, talk about what it's really like living in Spain.
Each week we'll share stories, tips and honest conversations about daily life here in Spain. The good, the bad and everything in between.
Whether you live in Spain or you're thinking about moving or you just want to know a little bit more, you're in the right place.
So grab a coffee, get comfy and let's get Spainfully Honest!
Hello and welcome to episode 33 of Spainfully Honest. Just realised how difficult that is to say for me being Irish. 33.
33. That's good, that. That's good reason for it.
Welcome to episode 33. Top of the morning to you. And this week is a dual episode.
Yeah, a dual one. I've done one of these before, really.
No, I don't think so.
Right?
No.
Oh, well, everything's new.
And it's going to be about Carnaval in Spain and also finding love in Spain. Because when this episode comes out, it will be Carnaval and also Valentine's Day. So we thought we would do a little bit about how to find love in Spain.
Yeah, and because of when Easter is, they sort of overlap.
Yeah.
So Valentine's Day is in the middle of Carnival, really, effectively.
Yeah, basically.
So there you go. There's your link. That's why we're doing one together.
But before we get started, how was your week, Paul?
No, not that eventful, really.
No.
I fitted a toilet twice. I fitted it leaked, so I had to take it out and fit it again. So I did that with Alan. Alan helped me. Thank you, Alan. That was good. And actually, I bought something that I've never bought before in my life.
What's that?
Bought slipper socks because I've had cold feet.
How have you never bought them before?
I've never bought before. I've never found it to be a problem. But this week, I just felt cold. And so I bought 2 pairs of slipper socks from the Chinese shop. Very cheap, €2.
I think I have more slipper socks than
I know you've got them on now, actually.
I always have slipper socks
Got slipper socks on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that's a sign of the weather because today on my automatic Facebook sort of thing that goes back to history, it came up. And a year ago today, so today is actually the 28th of January, something like that. It was 28 degrees. And today it's about 16. So 16 is still quite warm, but last year it was 28.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably weirder.
Yeah, that's weirder. Yeah, that's weirder. But that's one of the reasons why I've never had slipper socks before. So there you go. And that's it, really.
I was going to say, it's not particularly wet, although it did rain today, but it's very unsettled.
Yeah, it's really unsettled.
Like really,
really windy at the minute, but not cold. It's not cold wind. It's just really windy.
Yeah, like super windy.
But it chucked it down this morning.
Yeah.
And then it's dried up again. It is, yeah. I mean, when you do get the strong winds, it usually means there's different pressures somewhere, so you're going to get one or the other.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, like now everybody will be saying, oh, it's not global warming anymore because February is cooler than it's going to be last year, but then it'll be the summer and it'll be back to global warming again.
Yeah. Yeah, but global warming's not about it being hot. It's about super big change in the weather.
Ah, well, there you go then.
Yeah.
It is global
and it's
warming.
about, so the thing about the heat is that it's hotter for longer.
Yeah.
Rather than hot days. Because like sometimes people will be like, oh, but it was in 1965, it was 40 degrees in July as well. But but it's 40 degrees for 2 weeks straight. That's the issue. Yeah. So it's like the cycles of weather are changing, and that's what people are going on about.
Now you know. It's another episode.
I write all about this stuff, so I'm like constantly talking about this.
It's great having somebody that knows about stuff. This podcast will be horrendous if it was just me. Just be guessing everything, making it up.
Oh, you know all the stuff about actually living in Spain.
I know all the mistakes. That's what you're trying to say.
No.
You've made all the mistakes, Paul. You know about it.
I was like, when I was doing the episode that we released this week about the Padron, I was laughing at myself. I can't remember filling in a form for a Padron.
I didn't know any of that until I looked it up. I did actually meet Carlos this week. There's Carlos. I'd love to get Carlos on there. We need to get Carlos on.
Yeah, he's fun.
Because I met Carlos virtually after I've come here. And he effectively did everything I ever needed to do.
Yeah.
So I never had to do it.
Yeah,
so
he's great. He's great. He knows everything. And now you have to ask me how my week was.
Oh, yes. Hold on a minute. Catherine, and how was your week? Yours is going to be a lot more interesting than mine. Go on, tell us all.
I feel like I shouldn't dwell on it because it's like this is coming out in February and I'm still talking about Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, all right, okay, it's enough now. It's enough Christmas.
That's because we'll be getting the crackers in next week, so you'll be back on it. Useful. Go on, tell us about this week, Catherine.
Well, basically, my eldest son came home because he's away for university and he works as well. And so he wasn't able to make it home over Christmas. It's the first time ever. So he was able to get home after his university exams, and that was this week. And so we had we've been calling it Christmas 2.0 for Jamie.
Cool, eh?
So we had like family dinners, and my mum and dad got all the same, turkey and ham and trifle and all the stuff we've been talking about. Yes, so that was it really. I mean, it's been nice and fun, but I don't want to drag on about it because it's time to leave Christmas in the past.
Yeah, no, it's just interesting to know that you can keep your decorations up for an extra month if you have a reason.
There you go. You can do whatever you want.
You do what you want.
I used to leave my Christmas decorations up until the end of February.
Did you?
My friend came over. I love my Christmas tree. And when I was younger, I loved it much more. I think these days, as I'm getting older, the clutter kind of bothers me, but didn't bother me when I was younger.
Yeah.
So in my 20s, I would keep up until
You should do that,
February.
because there was one on the news, I don't know how long ago it was, where somebody just put a sheet over the tree in the lounge. You could do that.
I was talking about with Jamie about just changing the decorations and making it like a spring tree, a Valentine's Day tree, a summer tree, a Halloween tree, and then just keep it up.
Or just turn it round like a quarter. You could have each one a different one. Hey, good idea. Right, there you go.
And then my friend came over one year to visit me, and she was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing with your Christmas tree still up?" This is when I was younger. And I had one of those trees at the time, not anymore. It was like a white Christmas tree with all purple and pink decorations.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, it was so cute. But it had like the lights were on the tree, so you just put up the tree and you plugged it in and the lights came on. It was great.
Yeah.
And I went to work and I came home and she was like, "I took down your Christmas decorations," but she painstakingly removed all the lights
from the built-in tree.
I was like,
never worked again.
What did you do? She's like, "You can't have your decorations up now." Shout out to Emily. I love you.
It's all about Emily.
Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we're talking about Carnaval in Spain.
Yeah, I don't ever remember it being a big thing in the UK.
Yeah.
Not until we came here. I don't remember it being something that happened. Valentine's Day, yes.
Yeah.
But not Carnival. Don't remember it at all. And I mean, I left the UK. I left school when I was like 18 or whatever, and we didn't have things like proms or anything like that then. And so, no, I just don't remember it. Do you remember it in Ireland? Did they do it in Ireland?
We don't do Carnival in Ireland. We do all the boring religious bits, but we don't do the Carnival bit. Which
I wonder if it's weather.
Yeah, because you can't really.
You couldn't do it. I mean, you
definitely
couldn't guarantee to do it.
No.
Where I was from in Burnley in February, you wouldn't stand a chance.
I mean, I don't think people care so much in Ireland about the weather because St. Patrick's Day is March.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Some years it pisses it down. Some years it's cloudy, and people are like, "Oh, we have great weather for the parade this year."
Yeah.
I don't think they mind that getting wet. They just kind of used to it. But no, they don't do. I don't ever remember doing Carnival in Ireland at all. We'll be talking about why they celebrate Carnival. So as we go through it, I'll say, how we celebrate it is a weird way to say how we observed that in Ireland. Because as I say, it's linked to religion, and we did all the religious bits, but not the actual dressing up.
I mean, I sort of first became aware of it here was obviously through the kids in school.
Yeah.
Because, their work in school when they were little was making things for the carnival, and then the school would do a little carnival, and then there'd be some people would be working for the main carnival of the town, etc., etc. So that's where you sort of get involved in it, even if you're not actually involved in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and the kids usually have to dress up for Carnival in school in Spain. So in the same way at Halloween, when they dress up in Spain, they'll also dress up for Carnival.
Yeah.
So, but they usually, well, not usually, some schools, Max's school picks a theme, for example. So they'll say they'll do a parade, and one year they did like the Olympics. So each class had to go with a different sport and stuff like that. And another year they did like sciencey things.
Yeah, so it's not a set thing, is it? It's not like it have to be based on one particular thing. It can be anything, really.
It can be anything. That's why in Spain they're very specific because they're specific about lots of things, but they're specific about in Halloween it has to be scary. Because at Carnaval is when you go more flamboyant, It's why,
Happy.
But in Ireland, you could dress up as a princess for Halloween. You could dress up as whatever you wanted. I mean, you can dress up as wherever you want. But usually in Spain, they would go more towards scary. You know what I mean?
You're right, yeah. So all the things, the things that you see in the shops for Halloween all tend to be the scary things.
Yeah, like witches and
but
all
the carnival stuff is loads of different stuff.
Sparkly and princesses and superheroes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's why, you know, if you dress your, I used to, when I was young, I didn't know when Jamie was young. When Jamie was young, I was young. But I dressed him up like, I don't know, whatever, as he wanted to dress up as a superhero for Halloween. And they'd be kind of like, yeah, looking at you like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
But basically, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You don't have to just go along what everyone else does. If your kid wants to dress up as Superman for Halloween, you can do whatever he likes. What I usually do is, if my kid wants to dress up as a superhero at Halloween, I'll just make him like a zombie, just paint his face like a zombie Superman. But anyway, so what is Carnival? Let's have a little look what Carnival is. So basically, it's a big celebration before Lent. So I don't know if people know what Lent is who are watching. Basically, it's the last celebration before Lent. And Lent is basically the 40 days and 40 nights that Jesus was supposed to walk through the desert, being tempted by the devil, and he resisted temptation.
Oh, is it? I didn't know any of that.
And it's the lead up to Easter, basically.
Yeah.
So it starts on Carnaval. Starts on the Thursday before Ash Wednesday. There's no fixed date every year. It's one of those that, like Easter, changes every year. Carnival, therefore, because it's linked to Easter,
the 40 days.
Changes every year as well.
We're going to do an Easter one, aren't we? So we'll talk a bit more about that in the Easter one.
Yeah, we couldn't not do an Easter one.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, it changes with Easter. Jueves Lardero is on Thursday, the 12th of February. And what's that, Paul? What's Jueves Lardero?
So that is Lardy Thursday. I love that. That sounds great. That sounds like a proper Burnley term. Lardy Thursday. I've never heard of it before, but it does sound like a proper Burnley term. So what's it about then? Lardy Thursday.
Lardy Thursday. Well, it's basically what it says on the tin, isn't it? It's a traditional Spanish celebration on the first Thursday of Carnival, marking a final kind of feast of rich, fatty foods like sausages, pork, and eggs before people eat less meat or no meat. Some people don't eat meat during Lent. For example, in Ireland at Lent, you would always give up something for Lent.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Well, no, but I know of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we would be given like these, there's a charity in Ireland called Trócaire. So you'd be given Trócaire boxes. And the idea was that you gave up like sweets. You abstained from something you liked.
Yeah.
You were supposed to pick the thing that you liked the most. But some people be like, I'm not going to have crisps, but they don't really like crisps.
Yeah, fair enough. No.
But like some people are really strict with that. Like some people make their kids give up everything: fizzy drinks, crisps, sweets, chocolate, cakes, biscuits, everything for Lent. Like they abstain from.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Whereas I was always allowed. Yeah, I thought so. I was always allowed to pick just something that I wasn't allowed to eat. But my mama would make me pick something that I liked. So chocolate or sweets or sweets and chocolate.
But only one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sometimes it might be like cakes, biscuits, sweets, and chocolate, you know, because otherwise you're giving up sweets and biscuits or sweets and chocolate, but then you're having like a load of biscuits. So you're like, not really, you know. But like you can still have fizzy drinks, and they might say, oh, you can have a bit of ice cream.
It was more of a saying in our house. It never got done. Really? It was more of a saying. The mum would say it. What we're going to give up for Lent? Nothing.
Oh, we probably did it. And then
walking to school.
Yeah, give that up.
Yeah, I'm on the bus.
And the idea was then the money that you would spend on those things, you would put it into your Trócaire box. And then at the end of Lent, you would bring your charity box back into school.
Oh, I see. I thought you were going to put the things in there.
No.
Like, so the money that you would have spent. Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, and then you would bring those Trócaire boxes back into school, and then they would give all that money to charity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what we did at Lent. Anyway.
Does that happen here then?
We don't get charity boxes for sure. And I don't really hear of people giving things up for Lent here. But there's certainly the whole concept of like maybe eating more, how would you say it, like as...
Oh yeah, I mean, giving something up, definitely. But I don't know the bit about giving money for it. It's equivalent. Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
it's a nice idea. Maybe that was just my school, but that's what we did. Yeah. But anyway, back to Lardy Thursday, because I just wanted to speak about how we would give stuff up, because that's what it's kind of about. Like in Lent, people who are quite religious, well, they don't eat in the same way as they do all year round. They abstain from like eating so much. My nanny used to call it like a black diet or something, like, you know, where you would just have your breakfast, dinner and tea, but no luxury, little or no meat, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, so this day is known for its hearty meals and culinary traditions, especially in regions like Aragon, where this is back in Spain, not Ireland, where longaniza en el puchero, so this is sausage in the pot, is a saying. And then because that's the kind of food that they would eat, like sausage dishes. So this is kind of a day to enjoy abundance and saying goodbye to meat before Ash Wednesday. Because on Ash Wednesday, of course, you don't eat. You're not supposed to eat meat. You're supposed to eat. You can eat fish, but you're not supposed to have anything meaty on Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday kicks off Lent. It's like the first day of Lent.
Yeah,
and you start off in like serious, like you don't have. That's called your black fast. So you would just have your bare minimum.
Right? Yeah.
And then, in other areas of Spain, then on Lardy Thursday would have maybe the day of the tortilla, so tortilla day. Or then they'll eat what's called el palmo, so a palm's length of sausage. I imagine it's going to be circular, that one, is it?
I don't know.
You know those circular sausages?
Could be. That could be why they're that shape.
Wouldn't be much of a sausage if it was only the size of the palm of your hand.
That's right. But that's on the Thursday.
The
but then like
Thursday.
The carnival type stuff starts on the Sunday and the Monday, doesn't it? So you've got like 2 days to get over your indigestion of eating all that stuff, and then you can get ready, and also to make your things, I suppose, for the floats and things.
Yeah, because I like thinking like they're eating all this lardy stuff, and then things that the girls wear for carnival like are barely there. Like
I mean, because Millie did it. I mean, and she did it. I mean, it's one thing that sort of makes it more difficult is it was freezing when she did it, and she literally had like a leotard on and tights, and they were stood there messing about for like 2 hours before they went. You know, I felt so sorry for it. So, but I didn't know the sort of history behind it. You know, I was saying, why don't you do it in May or June? And it's nice and warm, but it's not. It's because it's religious again, and that's what I like about the Spanish. They take a religious event and they jazz it up.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. So it's really good.
Because we don't have, we kind of have Lardy Day, but we don't have Carnival. We have Pancake Tuesday.
Shrove Tuesday, yeah.
But we don't have Carnival. So that's like how we celebrate before Lent happens.
Yeah, so that was, I wrote about Shrove Tuesday. Yeah, so Shrove Tuesday it's to do with Mardi Gras, Shrove Tuesday.
Yeah, because Carnival and Mardi Gras all happens around the same time.
It means Fat Tuesday.
Oh, I love it. Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. Mardi is French.
Makes sense.
Mardi is Tuesday. Gras, fat. So it's comes Fat Tuesday. So that's when you eat fatty things on the Tuesday. And that's
why do they wear no clothes then? They're practically in the nude in Mardi Gras.
So there you go. So you indulge on rich foods like eggs, sugar, and fats before the 40-day fasting.
And that's where we got our pancakes from.
And that's where pancakes comes from.
Tuesday.
There you go.
Never miss Pancake Tuesday. I love pancakes.
And that is something, I mean, that has been, in my life, all my life.
Yeah,
my mum always makes me think of that.
Yeah.
So, but no, I don't think for
the
religious reasons.
My mum always made pancakes on Pancake Tuesday.
Well done, Bernie.
Never missed the pancakes on Pancakes Tuesday, and they're delicious as well.
Good pancakes. Excellent.
Okay, so, Carnival Monday in Spain is kind of the peak day for festivities. But as with a lot of things over the years, they've kind of edged it onto the weekend of, so it's like...
Yeah, I mean, they try to make it so that it's...
Kids can enjoy it.
Enjoyed by everybody, yeah.
So the Carnival Monday is very important. But you might see in your town a lot of the stuff happening on the Sunday or the Saturday, usually the Sunday. So whether it be the parades or the parties and things like that, they might have it on the Sunday. Depends on your area, so just check and make sure. So as we were saying before, like the parades are spectacular, aren't they? Spectacular. Yeah. Even the local ones, the costumes are always really elaborate, and they'll have some nice street parties as well. And something really specific that they do at Carnival is they have these things, it's like satirical theater or satirical music. They're called murgas or chirigotas, they're called. Okay. And Alex loves these. So I asked him to explain it to me a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm still a little bit confused by it. But basically, it doesn't happen in all of Spain. This is something that's more Andalusia, especially Cádiz, the chirigotas. And it's like a carnival group competition. Like the famous one is held in Cádiz. And it's originally based on or inspired by the Venice Carnival. And it was created to offer social criticism. So basically what they do is like slag off the government, or it's all very satirical, and it's supposed to be
But they wear all the masks, don't they? So nobody knows who's doing it.
Exactly. So you can slag off wherever you want. So there's a lot of taking the piss out of the government. Yeah, so but they take it very seriously. So it's usually you've got different types. So you've got chirigotas, which we mentioned. They use sarcastic humor, and that everything has like a double meaning. Then you've got other ones called comparsas, which is more lyrical and focuses on social critique and emotional lyrics. Then you've got choros, which is like a choir, which is just a bigger group basically. And then you've got quartetos, like, so sounds what is like
Four.
small groups of four,
Yeah, yeah.
4 to 5 you wrote, but I imagine it's 4. And these are more theatrical and comedic performances.
So will these be on television then?
They would be on
Like,
television
at that time, if you're not
Yeah.
in that area, obviously.
I imagine if you're even in like Spanish channels on TV would have them on.
Right, okay.
Alex pops them up on YouTube though. So
Oh,
if you
yeah,
wanted,
fair enough,
if
yeah.
you wanted to look for them, they'll pop up on YouTube. So you could put up like Chirigotas Cadiz and then put in the year. They'll have last year's up. Performances usually include an introduction, 2 pasodobles, and couples, and a final potpourri. I was like, that sounds like potpourri. What's that?
Does? Don't know.
The contest takes place at Cadiz Gran Teatro Falla, named after the composer Manuel de Falla. Most groups are from Cadiz, but others from across Andalusia also participate. And there's also a kids one, which is very cute.
Ah, right. Find out what it is. It's the confetti in the eggs, the potpourrias.
Oh, there you
So
go. Yeah.
you put confetti in eggs and throw it at people.
Final in potpourri.
And then in aguillas, which is one of the most famous ones, aguillas is in Murcia, it's one of the most famous ones in Spain.
Yeah.
They fill theirs with talcum powder.
Yeah.
And they throw talcum powder
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's very
so that
cool.
sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah. I love that because obviously Murcia, is it the smallest region in Spain or one of the smallest regions in Spain? But like they have like
Something
they do
that's
everything.
famous.
They do everything really big, you know. So
Yeah.
Aguilas it's even like their carnival.
The longest in
celebration.
Spain.
The longest in Spain, and
Yeah, I know what you mean.
culturally protected
Yeah, culturally
celebration or
protected,
something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, so I mean, on carrying on with that, there are like some famous ones in Spain, a bit like the Rio Carnival.
Yeah.
The famous ones in Spain are the Cadiz one,
Yeah.
which you've mentioned, which is February this year. It's February 12th to 22nd. Barcelona, 12th to the 18th. Madrid, 14th to the 18th. Malaga, 7th to the 15th. And Sitges, 12th to the 18th. But the Aguillas one, like we said, is the longest one. It's already started when this podcast goes out.
Yeah.
31st of January for the whole month.
Yeah.
Exciting.
They're huge. They love it.
Yeah.
It's great. But also, of course, like anything in Spain, there'll be one in possibly every town in Spain. Like, you know, this is really highly celebrated. Locally to us, we've got big ones in Santiago de la Ribera. It's a big one. Torrevieja and Cartagena, of course, do everything.
I've been to the Ribera one and the Torrevieja one. I've not been to the Cartagena one. But the Cartagena one is one of the biggest in this area, isn't it? On the actual day.
Yeah.
So rather than being as long as the Aguillas one, the day of it is very big.
Yeah. Very cool. Something nice to experience.
And the other things as well is it's massive on the Canary Islands.
Massive.
In Tenerife and Gran Canaria. They're probably some of the most famous in Spain.
Yeah.
And they are more like a Mardi Gras, aren't they?
Yeah.
They like really go for that in a big way.
Outfits are just insane. Like I imagine if you Googled Carnaval Spain, I would say the first pictures if you were looking like Google Images, the first ones come up would be Canary Islands, I would say, because they're like
the most extravagant.
Spectacular.
So when we're talking about that, is, you know, if you want to find where your carnival is or when it is, go on your town hall website and they'll tell you. Yeah. And the main reason why they know more than anything, I mean, they're a part of it anyway, aren't they? But roads have to be closed and all things like that. So they put a lot of information on there about them, don't they? Where they're starting from, where they finish, where you can park, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So one for Millie is, it was a big event.
Yeah.
I mean, they usually had to be there like 3 hours before it started, and then everything would be organised and set up, and the music, and then they have the cars with the trailer with the big speakers on. And there were, I mean, I can't remember exactly, but I bet there were 30 or 40 floats at least.
Oh, at least.
And then groups of Millie was one of the ones that like walk along like cheerleaders doing the singing, and somebody be throwing sticks in the air and all that. A big thing. And the Torrevieja one, I mean, we were there about 8 hours, you know, from lunchtime right the way through to about 8 o'clock at night. They tend to be a bit earlier just because of the light, I think, don't they?
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
they're not there because, and the temperature, as in being too hot's not an issue, so they don't have to start it when it's gone dark or anything like that. So they tend to be during the day as well, don't they, rather than at night.
I mean, it'll still be fresh, you know,
Oh, it was
Depends on the
freezing.
weather, of course,
I
doesn't
mean,
it?
I had my coat on,
Last year it was
socks,
nice. Yeah.
you know, everything on.
Yeah.
And Millie was there in I mean, she took a. I mean, if you have got a child in it and it's the first time, take them loads of warm stuff,
Yeah.
keep them as warm as possible before. I think once they get going,
They're
they won't be
fine,
too
aren't they?
bad. But while they're waiting
It's
and
all the
standing
waiting
around,
Yeah. Max was in the Carnival last year, and they were like mimes. They were with his theatre group, and it was so cute. And there's loads of them, and it looked really nice. And I was in it one year as well when I worked in Pinatar Arena,
right? Yeah.
and we went as a theme because they're a sports centre. We went as sports trophies.
Right. Okay.
So we were all of our clothes and ourselves were all spray painted gold. And so it was really,
Trump, I love you.
so yeah. So as we went along we stopped, we had to stop into like a pose.
All right.
We were statues, and we all had boxes that we had to jump on when we stopped. So
very
we
good.
could stop.
We've got a video anyway. We could put it on as an addition.
I have pictures. Yeah, it was very fun. But that's what I like about Carnival. Like, it's very over the top, and there's usually like a theme, and people really dedicate to the theme.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's cool.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
Anyway, now on to.
So in the middle of all that going on, and
Yeah.
it is virtually in the middle of every one of those, is Valentine's Day. And this year it's on a Saturday. So Saturday the 14th of February. So no excuses this year.
Yeah, restaurants are going to absolutely rake it.
Yeah, I mean, you need to get booking. When does this actually go out? It must be a few days before.
It'll be too late when you're listening to this.
You've missed it. You'll have to get a takeaway.
Yeah, I think this comes out on the 10th of February, so it's going to be like 4 days beforehand.
Yeah,
chance you're around, but it might be a bit late.
I mean, there will be, before you see this, there will be adverts in places like in the newspapers, Euro Weekly News, and on the radio. Spectrum, they'll have people advertising about.
Yeah, I've been writing a couple this week for Mercia Today for some of those. Good offers, some good offers, so have a look around.
Yeah, really good.
Well, okay, so we'd start with like, I thought when me and Paul were talking about Valentine's Day, I thought it felt like it was more celebrated in Spain, but then Paul thinks no.
I don't think more. I just think it's a big thing in the other countries. Yeah, but in England, I remember it from being a kid. Yeah. You know, it's always been there, and it's always been something that's been celebrated. Yeah. So, no, I think it is. I'd not say equal, but I think it's, you know, all right, I will say equal. I think it's equal. I think it's as important there as it is here.
You think so, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I left Ireland when I was 19, so I guess I don't really have much to base it on, you know, but I just felt like adults maybe kind of do more for Valentine's Day in Spain.
Oh, okay. So perhaps.
But then I could be totally wrong, because I wasn't really an adult in Ireland, so I don't know.
Yeah, so we were looking into sort of the history of it to try and find where it sort of came from, and it seems that the most sort of common thing is that there was a priest or a monk called Valentine who helped a lady.
Used to matchmake people, didn't he?
Yeah, and he was about to, the day before he was killed, he sent her a letter saying, "From your Valentine," which it would have been fairly obvious who it was the day before he died, and that's sort of where the anonymous card came from. Yeah. That's where it seems to be, and it sort of took off from them. That seems to be the common belief back in the third century Roman times. So anyway, that's where it came from.
A long time.
So it's been going on a bit.
Yeah.
Surprised you haven't heard of it, really, Colin. Anyway, so that's why they sent cards, supposedly.
Yeah.
And anonymous ones.
So you think they do cards here in Spain?
Yeah, well, that was the thing. That was one of the things that surprised me a little bit, because they don't do cards as much here as they do in the UK for like birthdays and for Christmas. Whereas they do Valentine's cards. You know, the shops have them in, Chinese shops have them in. You see them in like tobacconists even. Yeah. So it is something that definitely happens here in the same sort of level, I think, as the UK. Because it's everywhere. I mean, now Tesco's will be full of Valentine's, and then as soon as that's gone, all the Easter eggs will be in there, and that'll be it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
so now we're going to talk more about, it's not so much Valentine's Day, that's just inspired.
Yeah, who are you going to go with? You haven't got anybody to go with. You need to crack on with it. And even though you've got 4 days to do it, and this comes out, so you better start listening. You better get a notepad. If you need to get somebody to go with, you need to get a notepad.
Because what inspired the podcast is Valentine's Day, but it's really going to be about how to find love in Spain.
Yeah. How are you going to find somebody to go Valentine's Daying with.
Valentine's Day. And it could be a good first date as well. Makes it more romantic if you do happen to, if you like someone or
Well, it's a good excuse to ask, isn't it? I'm not being funny.
Exactly.
You know, what are you doing on Saturday? It's Valentine's Day.
That's what I was going to say. If you've been thinking about someone, you like someone, you haven't quite worked up the motivation, or
even if you've not even met them yet.
Use Valentine's Day as motivation to ask them out for the first time. So there you go.
Should.
But yeah, so basically how to find love in Spain. So we did touch on this indirectly in other episodes. So if you wanted to have a look at those, episode 2, 3, 5, and 12, and we kind of talked about socializing.
Yeah, it was meeting people, learning the language, ways to learn the language. Well, that's also, we were talking about the best ways to meet Spanish people and be with Spanish people. So it's sort of, it overlaps, doesn't it? They aren't out the window just because it's Valentine's Day. They're worth looking at as well.
Definitely. Although I don't have a lot of experience really to help out, because I always met people like through friends or in work. That's kind of where I have so I can't really speak.
So you didn't go actively
ways.
Dating as such.
No.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I never really did. No. But anyway, so what I'll be basing my kind of expertise on is that I have a Spanish partner. So me and Alejandro, I say Alex all the time, but his name is actually Alejandro. So we've been together 12 years. I met him in work. And so, I was just my point of view is going to be to talk about not to limit yourself to the expat community. Because I feel like a lot of people do, just because of the comfort with the language, you find someone who's
it's easier,
English
isn't
speaking. Yeah, but not to do that, because obviously, you can find a lovely partner who's also Spanish and you're in Spain, So the big thing will be to really focus on building up your community. If you don't want to work in Spain, well, maybe you can volunteer in Spain or just take part in something to make friends, because that's, I think, how you're going to find somebody in a more organic way, rather than
organized.
like a search for love, Yeah. So that's how I found love. What about you?
Yeah, well, I've got a thing about Valentine's Day. I've always sort of had it. I had a bad experience on Valentine's Day when I was 15 in 1982.
Aww.
Yeah,
that's before I was born.
And thanks. And it sort of spoilt it for me. I was dumped by Joanne Wilkinson. I'm going to name and shame her. She was my first love.
Would it be hilarious if she was listening?
Yeah, it would be. Hiya, Joanne. How you doing? And I bought her a rose and a baby sham that night as well. Baby sham. It's only 15. It's a bit like Carver, but in a little bottle.
Wow, very posh.
Little bottle with a reindeer in a glass.
Aww.
Yeah, I bought her that as well. And then she finished with me on that night. She scarred me for life. So I sort of went off Valentine's Day. I wasn't that keen on it. On Valentine's Day. She went out with me, one of my friends, Knuckles. Yeah. Never liked him after that. I didn't tell him. I used to do things to him without knowing. Yeah, a bit like that.
Oh, dear.
So that was in England, though. That was in England. But then 20 or so years later, I moved to Spain and I was married. So I didn't really get involved in the dating scene until I got separated in 2015. And then, so we have talked about this because we talked about this before. But I then went to a conversation swap.
Yeah.
And I met a lady there. And so, that was one way that I met somebody through the old way of conversation swap. But, she was a little bit old, mentally old. That was the problem. Mentally old, yeah. I mean, she was happy, like, just sort of staying in and watching TV all the time and stuff. And so that one sort of wore out.
Waiting for God. That TV show you used to be on?
Yeah, a bit like that, Waiting for God. That's what it felt like, know. And I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
So, but then I sort of went to the opposite extreme, and I got introduced to somebody through friends, and that's sort of how, that's how I met Olga now and everything. But I got introduced to this girl, and I have mentioned this before as well, called Sheila. And she was over 20 years younger than me.
Oh.
But she was very nice, very attractive. But it took me a bit to realise that when she was speaking, she wasn't speaking Spanish. She was speaking Portuguese. She was Brazilian, and I thought she was Spanish.
Sheila from Brazil.
Sheila from Brazil. Oh, no, it wasn't. But that's the name she used. for me. I don't know what her real name was. I just used Sheila. So yeah, I mean, it was interesting. She nearly killed me. Honestly, she nearly killed me. Yeah. So that didn't
Dear
last.
me.
But then I met Olga through friends. Somebody introduced us, and we met, and that was it.
Yeah.
But again, it's not been sort of by actively going on dating
Yeah.
sites or anything, so I can't really help you with that. Olga's Cuban. She speaks Cuban.
Cuban.
Yeah, so Cuban is effectively Spanish, but it's a version of Spanish, and it is so fast. Yeah. Now, the great thing about it is that we can't really argue. We were sort of going to have an argument this morning, but can't be bothered. By the time you've translated it, it's what you forget. Just can't be bothered. So, like, we've been together like 10 years now, and probably never argued properly ever because it's not possible. So yeah. So
That's you? All
that's
right.
me, really. Yeah.
So what I was going to talk about then was, because I've seen a lot of stuff, especially because of the, people are starting to think about Valentine's Day. There's a lot of stuff on social media about finding love, but mostly the differences between when you're dating somebody from the United States or Ireland or the UK or whatever, compared to dating a Spanish person or going out with a Spanish person, or let's say Latino, because I imagine there's going to be similar with like Olga and stuff from Cuba. I imagine it's very similar. So let's talk about that. So the first thing that I always like to highlight is that they're very affectionate, like more affectionate, like physically affectionate, verbally affectionate. Is that word?
You mean in public or generally, or just, not in public? I mean everywhere.
Everywhere, just generally. And so if it's in a romantic setting or if someone who likes you, like, it would be noticeably so, like,
Right, okay, yeah.
And I feel like people, when they first move over to Spain, don't understand that. They think maybe that someone's been creepy or whatever, like, but no, it's just how they are, it's just
so they're just showing their affection rather than hiding it.
Yeah, I would say they're more romantic. Yeah. I think they're more romantic. They're just more comfortable to give you compliments and to say how they feel, and to, if you're in a bar, they're not going to be like, not in an inappropriate way, but there would be more like touchy-feely, like when they're either when you started dating or, even if you just kind of went up and spoke to you in the bar or a restaurant or whatever you happen to be, like they're more physically affectionate.
Yeah, okay.
And even like from day to day, like with the kisses, the 2 kisses and all that kind of thing, like just generally Spanish people just are more affectionate, I think.
Right, okay, yeah.
And I also want to say they don't usually have a problem approaching you, like where in Ireland, or from what I hear about in the United States, it can be a bit of a game of looks and interpretation and all this kind of nonsense. Whereas in Spain, if a Spanish guy likes you, he'll just tell you.
But is that the same then the other way around? Will a Spanish girl do that?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's still that kind of tradition where it's more left to the man to ask out the girl, in a sense. But, the man is just usually so proactive that I don't think the girl ever has to find out, and men they're quite comfortable telling you how they feel, like if they like you or they think you're good looking or they want to go on a date with you or they want to go for a drink with you, they'll just tell you. And I've seen loads of stuff about, people when they first move over, like you'll be approached most places, like in the supermarket, at the gym, like people will just come up to you and say, "Oh, you're new around here," or "You've never seen you here before. Do you want to go for a drink after I've been sweating in the gym?" Yeah. I always feel like it's weird.
Smell like a hippo?
Weird in the gym. But yeah, and in the supermarket, again, people were talking about it in the supermarket, and there was one of these story that went like wild last year, like all over the world are talking about it. Like, I think it might be like a big marketing ploy with Mercadona, because it's Mercadona again and again. We don't work for Mercadona.
We don't. But we just like them a lot. But if they came up with this, it's even more a reason
it's
to like them.
It's so clever, yeah. But basically, there was this thing last year. I don't know if people are still doing it, but it was if you're going to like singles who went to the supermarket, went to Mercadona, if they put a pineapple in their trolley or in their basket, it meant they were looking for love. And so you were free to come and approach them, like it was a way to meet
So not
people.
just so they like pineapple.
If you like pineapple, could you imagine like someone just
like being followed around by all these weirdos? Just like pineapple, fuck off. The thing with Mercadona is it's not a good supermarket to do that in, because they only have something that's in season. So like in somewhere like Tesco's, you'd be able to get pineapple all year. So then it would work, you know, if you had like a pineapple thing. But in Mercadona, you could literally only get like a partner between the 5th and 17th of January because they don't do it any other time of year.
It was so funny. And you should have seen social media, especially in Spain, of course, was filled with all these
And was it
videos.
around Valentine's Day then?
I can't remember now. I wrote all about
I'll have to
it.
have a
but I
look. I
can't
want to have a
remember,
look in Mercadona
That
and see if
must
they've
been
got
around
pineapples in.
this time last year. I think it was. But yeah, so there you go. And then the next thing I want to say about was Spanish people are usually more involved in family life. And that's something to keep in mind, especially with all the talk at the moment about the Beckhams.
Yeah. Cool, yeah.
I'm so sick of that. Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about it. But yeah, so you might like meet the family, and I wrote that in inverted commas because it's quite like a big thing. Like in Ireland, if you meet the family, I don't know about the UK.
Yeah, no, UK. Yeah, I mean,
It's-
yeah, literally. If somebody said to you, "I want you to meet the family," that was almost like them saying, "Are you gonna? Like, are we getting engaged?"
Yeah.
You know, that's what it was
It's like a presentation.
Yeah,
This is the person I approve to meet my parents.
yeah.
Whereas in Spain, they just spend more time around their families in
So
general.
they're just going anyway. So they just bring you along.
They might just
You might get
bring
there
you.
might be a few people.
Exactly. Yeah, they might bring
Yeah, there's like 6 blokes.
one on
sat
Thursday,
there.
on Sunday.
Or 6 women sat there. I just invited them all, like them all.
Yeah. And I feel like, because some people then put quite a significance on this, like, oh, we've only been going out for a couple of months, but I already met his
Yeah, yeah.
family. Whereas I keep saying to him, because it's, you know, my point of view, you know, so
Yeah.
it could be whatever way around. So if you're introduced to his family, don't feel like he's going to be shopping for a ring anytime soon. It's just that Spanish people are more relaxed
So when
about
you
this.
met Alex, then how long had you been seeing him when you met his family? Day after?
I think it was 2 weeks or something, honestly. And I remember I knew like this is not like, because it was the family were having this big barbecue because his family has ended up being like spread out through Spain. There's some in Sevilla and there's some and they're all getting together because so many of them for the first time I don't know how many years. And Alex was just like, come along. It was in his family's what you call them, country house, you know,
Yeah.
so they have a pool and it's only somewhere they go when it's like the summer or for special occasions, like a family meal or whatever. And then he was like, come along and everything like that. And so I went along and I literally, after being with him for 2 weeks, met every single one of his aunts, uncles, everyone, cousins, pets.
Yeah. You'd have been writing invitations in the UK. You'd have had to do it. You'd have had to get them all out. Are you coming? Yeah.
I just feel like in other countries, especially the ones I mentioned, like where we're from, that it's more of a formal thing. Like when you're meeting.
Well, I think there's a lot more reservation about all of it. You know, you're more reserved. The people are more reserved.
Yeah.
Told to be more reserved, and things have got to a stage where something like that has a meaning.
Yeah.
You know, if you're being taken to an event like that, then you know you're a significant other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
rather than a friend.
I like to tell people, like, no, it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know. I just feel like everything is much more relaxed and casual in Spain. Like, so what else did I write? Yeah, they're more laid back generally. You know, I hate, if you've been watching this podcast for a while, I hate to generalize. So this is just, you know, usually, just put usually in front of everything. And there's obviously going to be people who are different and stuff. I hate it. But Spanish blokes are usually more laid back and more, you know, just chill about everything, you know. They'll just tell you if they like you. They won't tell you if they don't. They're going to their family's house. They'll just bring you. It's just more relaxed.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything in it that they care more about what their family think?
Maybe. So they want to get you involved sooner.
Yeah.
So you can see how you interact with them, kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't even think there's any thought into it. I honestly don't. I honestly just think we're going, so you come. You know,
going, right, yeah, fair enough.
I do honestly think that. I think it's just that they're just spend so much more time with their family, generally speaking. So it's just like, oh, come along.
I was just thinking, you know, they are. I feel they're a lot closer.
Yeah.
You know, and like, does it matter more that the family like you?
It might.
I don't know.
It might.
That was just me.
Yeah. So what next? Oh yeah, and then another thing I thought I would make a note of as well, and this is similar in Ireland though, but that they do tend to be more traditional. Similar in Ireland, because like the Irish mammies will treat their sons like gods and the girls will do all the housework. It's similar in Spain. Like, so blokes might not be great around the house and all that kind of stuff, doing housework and that kind of palaver.
Yeah, and it's right. There is a sort of still, and I noticed this here. There is a big thing with having a boy.
Yeah,
it's still a big thing here, isn't it? Which in the UK I don't think it is anymore.
Isn't it?
No, but here you do still notice that,
The
don't
boy,
you?
the
That's
son,
having,
yeah.
You just still
You'll notice like the kind of the treatment of especially if you're
no,
the
you
girlfriend
do.
going.
I mean, they can't do anything wrong when they're
No.
little and on the beach and things. If it's a girl, they'll sort of tell them to stop screaming or shouting or whatever. If it's a boy, they won't say anything.
Yeah.
Like God.
They can do whatever they want.
God.
So that's something. But then I did also put here, this is definitely dependent on where you are based in Spain. Cities, not so much. Rural towns and small towns is going to be more so. Same with everything, It's
the same with everything.
Yeah.
And it changes over time.
Of course, it's always getting better and better.
But as I have noticed that myself, and I'm not good at noticing social things, but I have noticed that.
And I'm too good at some things, honestly. So I have to like tell myself to calm down sometimes. But I would like to like put in a little caveat there that Alex is not traditional in that sense. Alex is a chef, so he like cleans as he goes. So the kitchen will be already clean when he's just made the dinner. I don't know how we do. Like he's very.
I'm traditional. That's my excuse. I'm very Spanish, mate. Make a mess, but don't tidy up.
Alex is good around.
Don't get Olga involved, though. Never live it down.
Anyway, next thing I want to speak of, language barrier. Of course, just a brief one. Don't let it put you off or anything like that. But I often say sometimes even when you've got a good level of Spanish, because the whole dating scene, flirting, whatever you want to call it, is very slang, it can be difficult to kind of to speak at first.
But you're gonna, like you said, don't let it put you off because it's still. I mean, I think it's a joke when it's said that they say you sleep with a Spanish woman for 3 months and you'll learn Spanish. If you're with somebody for more time, you're gonna learn the language faster, aren't you?
Much faster.
So don't let it put you off.
Definitely don't
doing it because there'll be a lot of benefits after.
Yeah.
It has to still be the right person, not just because they speak Spanish.
Exactly.
But don't let it put you off.
No.
And experience a different mentality is important.
I like it.
Yeah,
I mean, and we could do another podcast episode about when you're in a relationship with two different
we could.
Cultures.
Hey, there you go.
Because I feel like there's a lot there. I didn't want to go into all that today because it's about finding love. Because I had to stop myself then with meeting the family because I could have like spiraled out from
Carry
there.
On.
Because it is like it's different, and there's times where it's difficult, and times where it's interesting, and times where it's fun. But it's definitely it's something I think don't let it put you off. Like if you meet someone from a different nationality, especially as we're speaking about Spain, Spanish people.
Yeah, no, we need to do that.
Yeah, because it is.
We've got good experience.
Yeah.
Very
definitely.
Good.
Okay, next. What did I write? Oh, yeah. So then, of course, going past like meeting Spanish people, like how to meet people in general in Spain. And as Paul said, you should never, love is love, isn't it? Don't make yourself fall in love with a Spanish person, or don't make yourself fall in love with someone who's an expat just because they speak English. Just find someone that you like and then just go from there. But there's other ways to find people, like keep people like these online dating websites. I've personally never used them, so I'm really sorry. But Paul did have a look up for some good ones. So the ones I'm going to read out are the ones that are based in Spain. Is that right?
They're sort of, I would say, marketed to Spaniards.
Okay.
I'm not saying that doesn't mean to say you can't go on them.
Or in
but
Spain.
they are, they're marketed as Spanish ones. Whereas I've got a list of ones that are more international.
Yeah, people might have already heard of them, but maybe don't realize you can use them also in Spain. Yeah. All right, so I'll read mine. So here are some of the more popular ones. So Meetic, that's a big one. And I feel like Meetic is a good one for Spanish people and expats. I see a lot of expats on the Meetic one as well. Because they put up...
When you're not looking at them.
Oh, but what's that? They put up things like events and stuff as well, don't they? Or is that a different one?
I don't know.
Comes up a lot, like because I follow a lot of events pages.
All right, okay. So they sponsor things then.
Yeah. Okay. So I see a lot of expat things on there as well as Spanish ones. So this is more of the popular ones for singles looking for a stable relationship.
Yeah.
And then we've got one called Our Time. The seniors over 50 looking for real commitment.
Oh, so that's like a serious one. That one.
Serious one.
Our time.
Our time.
Oh,
Time's
our
now.
time.
And next we've got, I think this one is hilarious. Solteros con nivel, aimed at graduates.
So that's like, does that mean like intelligent people? Is that what that
I
means?
feel like
What does it translate? Solteros con nivel.
like with a good level, like, you know,
Oh,
like a
snobs it means.
high
It means
level.
snobs.
I feel
That's
like
for
that's a
snobs,
bit
that one.
mean. That one is a bit
That's
mean.
what it's called, though. I got it
Yeah,
off the
yeah.
site.
I'm sure you did, yeah. Solteros
Snobs.
con nivel, aimed at graduates. And then we've got
I'm not being funny, but if you're listening to the podcast, it's probably not for you, that one.
And then we've got, so solteros means single. So
Yeah.
solteros con nivel is like singles, high level singles.
Clever
Oh
singles.
my God, I mean.
Not that clever, but gets. I want to be looking at that one.
And then we've got solteros.
Someone called stupid single.
We should set that up.
Stupid singles.
And then we've got solteros 50, so single 50, which is going to be long term over 50.
Yeah.
Then we've got amor 40. Amor means love. So
Yeah.
singles over 40, looking for love, I imagine.
Yeah.
So these are general sites in Spain aimed at Spanish speakers, wherever they may come from. But there are sites that are more aimed at an international audience as well that you'll know of. I
Yeah,
imagine.
so you might have heard some of these. If you listen to Spectrum Radio, there's Spectrum Love. That's like an online one that you can download an app and use, and that's been created by Spectrum Radio. So it's really aimed at where you can listen to where you can listen to Spectrum from. So it's sort of the Balearic Islands and then down the Mediterranean coast.
Yeah.
So that's aimed at that area. But then there are others that are sort of international, really. So Expatica is one of the oldest, and it's not just a dating site. It's designed to put people in contact from the same home country. So that's like trying to get English with English, Spanish with Spanish.
Right, okay.
So that's its aim.
Huh.
And then there's Tinder, which is probably one of the most famous, I would think.
Yeah.
And that one,
I think it's more of a hookup site, that one, isn't it?
yeah, no, it's a date site, as in dating. Yeah, it's worldwide, aimed at dating rather than just a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Bumble is a slightly more serious dating site.
Yeah.
Hinge is a more serious relationship site.
Really?
And Badoo, which is a more of a fun site. Badoo.
Really nice way of saying that. I know Badoo.
What is it then?
I've never been on it, but I mean,
I don't know it.
looks very fun, let's say.
Is it? Oh, it's fun, is it? So Badoo's for a bit of fun.
That's one way of describing it.
Yeah.
There's a really good movie out about actually one of the founders of Tinder, who now is the founder of Bumble, about kind of that whole process. I think it's called Swiped, and it's on Disney. It's very good. Basically, a terrible work environment in Tinder, and they tried to say that she wasn't one of the founders. And anyway, then she left and she set up Bumble, and Bumble is like better than Tinder now. So it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. Anyway, moving from there. So in relation to looking about, online and stuff like that, again, I've seen a lot of stuff on social media about the difference with Spanish people and the people from, let's just say, because I've only seen people Ireland, UK, United States. So I'm not limiting it to those countries, could be other countries, but the comparison between those people on the online dating places. Okay, so people say that Spanish people are more direct in their messaging, and again, maybe more flirty. And then I always like to add in, again, as I said before, you don't need to read in between the lines so much with Spanish men. Like there's a lot of I think women do this more, but correct me if I'm wrong. But there's a lot of like having to, when a man sends you a message, you'll see it in a lot of rom-com movies, especially in the United States. Like a man sends you a message, you have to sit there and you have to decode it, to figure out what they actually mean. Whereas a Spanish guy, you don't have to do that. Spanish people, if they like you, they'll tell you. You don't have to decode their messages, If he doesn't reply to a message or he doesn't like you.
That's it.
Because he won't say he doesn't like you, of course, because they're not mean. But if he likes you, you'll know, very much so. And they're definitely very flirty and everything like that. And that can go then the other way. It's because the same thing with meeting the family. Because they're so attentive, then people can maybe feel like it's more of a thing. It's just how they are.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So just to keep that.
So don't order your wedding dress till he tells you to order the wedding dress. Yeah. There you go. That's our tip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then I just wrote, after all that, people usually meet in bars, cafes, salsa dancing, through friends, colleagues. If you're volunteering places and you don't work here, at local fiestas and celebrations like Carnaval. So you could meet somebody.
I mean, the salsa dancing one, I think is a very good one for men if you can do it.
Yeah.
Because there tend to be a lot less men there.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to salsa classes, and there were 2 men.
Aww.
And like 60 women. I was knackered. I was absolutely knackered because I had to do it all. It wasn't salsa. It was what's the other one? Anyway, there was a lot of
one of those kind of
arm raising things where you had to spin them around with you. I was absolutely knackered. Honestly, I was knackered. It's where I went with Jane. It was in Manchester. It wasn't here.
Oh right.
And I was knackered because there were 60 women and 2 blokes.
I mean, I think there would be more men in Spain. I think they.
Yeah, no, I think there would be. Yeah.
But
yeah,
who knows?
So, but I think it's a good, it's somewhere where there'll be a lot of ladies.
Yeah.
And possibly single ones.
Yeah. And it happens, it's like more frequent, like it's a big thing, like, in maybe Dublin, the salsa dancing, but here it might just happen on a random Tuesday night in a bar because it's just what it's like.
We went to one here as well. I mean, we both went with Jane to try and learn, and it was brilliant. It was so good. It was so well organized.
Yeah.
So what they did was they had the bar. It was near my mother's apartment. The bar had like 3 or 4 professionals came. And what they did was they played what was an easy one to learn, easy tune that made it easier to learn. And they'd stand in front of a line of 20 people and they'd show you the basic steps. And then they'd put a song on that used those steps, and then they'd do that. And then what they'd do is to keep it so that a lot of people came in the bar, they then switched that off for 20 minutes and played proper music where the dancers could dance, and so you could watch them doing it. And then after 20 minutes, they'd do another move with different music in the line again. It was so good.
Yeah.
Because then in that 20 minutes after, you could then, the professionals would come round and pick you out and you'd do that bit with them and practice it. But it was just good the way they did it. It wasn't just a class, it was a whole evening. But you got people in who weren't going to learn, who just wanted to dance.
Yeah.
But they ended up helping you as well. So good. Very clever.
And I like that it's like more relaxed, like you have a few drinks, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Whereas like whenever I saw them, it was like in a hall somewhere or something, and it's like you're just standing around waiting to practice or whatever. It feels like more rigid, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Not enjoyable.
You'd have done in the whole night of lessons, you'd have done probably an hour of lessons. But you were there for 5 hours and you were dancing in between and you were seeing how good it can. And that's what inspires you. It's not just seeing just a professional doing it. Yeah. It's seeing a group of 30 people doing it,
And they might have all different levels so that you can say, they're not fantastic, but they're good. And you can kind of see, it makes you feel better about yourself as well.
Yeah, cool. I'd like to see more of that. I haven't found one since that one, but hopefully I'll find one.
And then I just wanted to finish off with, obviously we're telling everyone to get out there and to meet people and go online and go on dating sites and all that kind of stuff, but to also be careful.
Have to be careful.
Yeah, you have to be in this day and age, unfortunately. So just a few brief safety tips for dating. I wrote dating in Spain, but really it's dating anywhere. It's not specific to Spain.
Anyway.
So to meet in public first, so in a cafe or a bar, somewhere busy. Tell someone else your plans, so just share where you're going with a friend or a family member. Keep your own transport at the start so that you don't have to rely on them to drop you home. Limit your personal information if that's possible. I know it's difficult with everything being online these days, but don't overshare your address, financial information, or your daily routine too soon. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, leave. It's always okay to say no. Check online profiles. Do a bit of snooping on social media, basically that means. And then stay sober enough to judge. Have a few drinks, but make sure you stay aware and stay safe.
Important.
Yeah.
Important things to do.
And that's it. Anything else you wanted to add, Paul?
No, it's just next week we're going to do the driving license.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to do that. So we're back to doing a bit more paperwork. I was getting a little bit concerned that we were getting a little bit serious and paperwork heavy. But the more I watch what's happening in the US, I just think if we can help anybody do something when they're here or help them get here, it's important. So we are doing another one next week.
This one's wild, the driver's licenses and changing them over. But anyway, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It is
And
a
it
good one.
applies to a lot of people. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about getting it the first time when you first get here,
Mhm.
but also as well, if you've been here a bit, renewing it.
Renewing it.
Yeah, and we'll do a help sheet as well that we did
Yeah.
last time.
Cool.
Okay.
Take
Thank you
care,
for
everyone.
listening.
Happy St. Valentine's Day and enjoy Carnival.
Oh yeah, have a great time.
Holy shit, the wind.
Bye.
Bye.